Fury did that. With the champ, when he said that he's training for Usyk, then his coach came out and said, I'm not training him. Pull him out, like, you make it clear what you're addressing. I'll leave it to people's opinion, but if that was me, what would people...
As much as that, you know, they are both losers. They're both coming off losing fights. It's the only obvious fight to make. So they've got to make it, and if they make that fight, then I'm sure they'll sell it.
For him, it's going to be very hard for him to accept. You guys won't understand it. If you've been a world champion, you believe you're the best man on the planet. You know, it's very hard to accept anything less. And so for Tyson, for that to really sink in, once he accepts that, he's really done. He ain't done. He's just stepped away from that as part of his negotiation. As far as I'm concerned.
I've been signing contracts for years. It ain't in my hands, it's with a legal team. That's why you hire lawyers. If you know the history of boxing, make sure you get your legal terms right. That's why you got good management and good lawyers. So of course I'm going to sign a contract. That's just with some lawyers at the minute.
That, and Fury did that with a champ when he said that he's training for Usyk. Then his coach came out and said, I'm not training him out. Like, you made it clear what you're addressing. I'll leave it to people's opinion. But if that was me, what people say, and as much as that, you know, they are both losers, they both come off losing fights, it's the only obvious fight to make. So they got to make it, and if they make that fight, then I'm sure they'll sell it out. Therefore, and it's going to be very hard for them to accept. You guys won't understand it. If you've been a world champion, you believe in the best man on the planet. You know, it's very hard to accept anything less. And so for Tyson, for that to really sink in, once he accepts that, he's really done. He ain't done. He's just stepped away from part of his negotiation. As far as I'm concerned, Anthony Joshua blasts Tyson Fury for ducking the fight. This isn't just a headline. It's AJ calling Fury's bluff on the grand stage. Joshua's words cut like a right hand, exposing the Gypsy King for playing hide and seek. Fans can feel it, Fury's aura cracking while AJ's hunger roars louder than ever. Been signing contracts for years. It ain't in my hands, it's with a legal team. That's why you hire lawyers. If you know the history of boxing, make sure you get your legal terms right. That's why you got good management and good lawyers. So, of course I'm going to sign it. That's just with some lawyers at the minute. Anthony Joshua's confidence here is pure steel. He's not tiptoeing around, he's telling the world this fight is inevitable. While Fury keeps moving the goalposts, AJ's message is simple. The talks are real. The clock is ticking, and the Gypsy King can't hide forever. This is heavyweight intent at its sharpest. The golden question, I would say, sooner than later. It's in the pipeline. It's been bubbling for a long time. It has to happen. We're with you guys. We're talking about it. It's definitely going to happen soon. Joshua's declaration leaves fans buzzing as talk turns from words to action. Tyson Fury's tone here drips with bravado, but fans aren't buying the act anymore. He wants the Joshua fight, yet his actions tell a different story. AJ's name sells headlines, but it's Joshua who's pressing for dates while Fury keeps dangling promises. This is classic mind game theater from the Gypsy King. 'Cause I need that Joshua fight. We have been trying to make that fight for years, right? Why do you need that fight? Because it's the fight that people want to see. It's the fight that Duke McKenzie may be giving Fury the edge, but his words also reveal just how vulnerable the Gypsy King truly is. AJ's power isn't just hype, it's a threat that can change a fight in one shot. If anyone's landing first, it's Joshua, and Fury knows it. If nothing else, AJ's got a lot of power still. His punch resistance may be shot to pieces, but you know Fury's not that too far behind him. I don't think they're both ready to go, so it's a question of who lands first, and Fury's always been quite smart, quite clever in terms of his boxing sort of prowess and ability, so you would expect Fury to maybe nick it. Tony Bello's honesty here cuts through the noise. Even critics admit AJ at his best is a nightmare for Fury. Dubois may have had a moment, but head-to-head, Joshua is still the sharper, stronger, more dangerous man. That's the kind of respect Fury can't ignore. I think that's a dreadful fight for Moses, too. I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage, so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man. Let him develop the same as every other fighter. Let him learn his trade. Bello's words add even more fuel to the fire surrounding this potential showdown. Johnny Nelson's take mirrors the growing sentiment in the boxing world. Despite all the noise, Anthony Joshua remains the man to beat. Nelson's mention of the same shot AJ took him out with is telling. It highlights Joshua's proven finishing ability and the blueprint others try to copy. The fact that even seasoned voices like Nelson still lean towards AJ speaks volumes about his pedigree. Fury may thrive on mind games, but there's no hiding from the evidence in the ring. Joshua's power, composure, and hunger remain unmatched in this heavyweight landscape. Fans sense it, analysts sense it, and even Fury's camp must be aware of the danger. This is not hype, it's reality slowly closing in on the Gypsy King, 'cause Tot is a fighting man. So I know, Dylan White is nightmares to everybody. You never know, don't right now. People thinking, yes, I know how to take that body out. The same shot Anthony Joshua took him out with and took him out. Perfect took him out with. But I just think fight-wise, I'd lean towards Anthony Joshua. This is pure Anthony Joshua, composed yet dominant, reminding the world who really runs the heavyweight division. By calling himself the landlord, AJ flips the narrative, casting Fury not as an equal, but as a tenant overdue on rent. It's psychological warfare done with class. While Fury's antics may grab attention, Joshua's credentials and attitude command respect. In just a few lines, AJ reframes the story. He's the champion, Fury is the challenger, and history is on Joshua's side. This isn't empty talk. It's the calm of a man who has faced adversity, rebuilt himself, and stands ready to collect. Fans can feel the tide shifting with every confident statement, turning Fury's bluster into background noise. Different for me than it is for any champion. He's a challenger. Huh? But he can't sell out. This is the first time he's headlining a show. I'm here. I'm the champion. I told you I'm the landlord. I'm collecting. Carl Froch might sound indifferent, but his words betray the truth. The world craves Joshua versus Fury. Even skeptics like Froch know that AJ's name fills stadiums and sells pay-per-views. His jab about AJ being flattened is a familiar refrain from critics, but it only underscores how big Joshua's comeback story could be. Every great champion has setbacks. It's what they do next that defines them. And right now, Joshua is the one chasing greatness, while Fury dances around the date. Fro's comments inadvertently highlight the urgency of the fight. Wembley would roar, fans would flood in, and the heavyweight division would finally get the showdown it's been waiting for. If he fights Anthony Joshua, that would be the one that people want to see. That was probably still Phil Wembley. But as a boxing purist, as a lover of the sport, am I that bothered if Tyson Fury never steps in the ring of Anthony Joshua? I'll be honest, no. AJ's been flattened. Eddie Hearn's update gives fans exactly what they've been waiting for, a glimpse of the machine behind Joshua revving back to full power. Hearn doesn't sugarcoat the Dubois defeat, but instead frames it as a reset, a moment for AJ to clear his head, heal up, and sharpen his focus. This isn't the language of a fighter fading away. It's the blueprint of a comeback. While Fury toys with timelines and talks legacy, Joshua and his team are locking down dates and preparing for war. Hearn's excitement, even in measured words, signals that AJ is mentally and physically ready to roll. Fans sense it too. The wait may finally be ending, and the heavyweight collision everyone wants could soon be real. We've been speaking probably more lately than we have his whole career, to be honest with you, because this is a really important time for him in terms of what we do next. And I'll be honest, I don't think he'll mind me saying it. I think he's needed to just find himself a little bit after that Dubois defeat. It was quite a crushing defeat for him, and I think he just needed to make sure, he's got a lot of business. He's wanted to clear that, get on with other projects, and get those things out of his mind before he returns. Obviously had the operation as well, he had the injury, and he's done that. Now he's ready. He's ready to start going back into camp, and now I will probably have a trip in the next couple of weeks to see him, and we'll look to lock in that date of January, February, and who it will be. So hopefully soon I'll be able to give you guys some actual news rather than saying update soon, and he's pumped to return. And I, Adam Smith's words, strike a chord with every boxing fan who's followed Anthony Joshua's rise. He's watched AJ go from Olympic hero to global champion, and now into the second act of his career where legacy looms larger than belts. Smith isn't just giving polite praise, he's affirming that the fire still burns. That Joshua isn't about to fade quietly into the background like so many ex-champions do. Instead, he frames this Fury fight as the favorite, a moment too big to ignore, too essential to skip. It reflects not just fan demand, but the industry's understanding that this is the fight which defines an era. And it's telling that Smith speaks about AJ with a sense of inevitability. While Fury remains a question mark, where Fury's narrative feels like a circus, Joshua's feels like a campaign, methodical, deliberate, and aimed at cementing greatness. Smith's calm conviction underscores what we all sense. AJ isn't done. He's building toward a climax, and Fury is the obstacle he's determined to overcome. It's been a phenomenal career. He's not just going to slip away into the sunset, I don't think. So I think if that fight, which I think is very much still there to be made this year, it's got to be the Smiths' belief in AJ sets up Fury's own destiny speech perfectly. Tyson Fury's monologue sounds like the script for his own documentary. Grandiose, sweeping, full of words like destiny and legacy. Yet, under the bravado, there's a clear note of self-assurance masking unease. He calls AJ this little man to diminish him. But even casual fans know Joshua is no